Every single successful former smoker says they found some thought. A thought so powerful it invokes an emotion that motivates them to stay on track. For some it's their children. Others it's visualizing their death. And others are so filled with gratitude from the love of their friends and family that they are motivated to live a longer and fuller life. Something has to click in your head. Going all the way back to session 1, it is our thoughts that trigger our emotions and result in our behavior. This thought, this click, is imperative. Once you have the click, you have the ultimate tool against relapsing. Hello everyone and welcome to session 10, the final session. I'm Dominic Weber, one of the founders of Quit Smoking 24/7, and up until this point, everything has been practice. You've been practicing whip and you've been practicing the 15 seconds. Then we introduced these ideas of false beliefs and affirmations and triggers. And you've applied all these things together, and what that has done is that it has interrupted your thought patterns and you're becoming a more conscious person. Every single decision you make, you're more aware of. And what this allows us to do is that the automatic thought patterns that cause you to smoke are going to fade away. They're not going to be there anymore. So now it's time to take this click, this one thought, and you're going to apply everything you've learned, and you are going to quit smoking. When the urge arises, you're going to wait, hold off, inhale, and now you're going to push through. While you whip, you're focusing on that click or whatever thought you want for 15 seconds. While you're focusing on that 15 seconds, you're breathing, and you continue to breathe to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. Once you've activated the parasympathetic nervous system and calmed down a bit, that's when you can objectively step back and look at your false beliefs for smoking. You already have your list of affirmations that you know are true because you're doing the things you need to make them happen. And if you do all these things, that urge will simply dissolve. I hope you understand by now it's not about fighting the urge. Willpower will never win this battle. It's about completely eradicating the idea from your brain altogether. That's why we're doing all these things. All these new thoughts and ideas are going to totally replace what's going on. These sessions, these first 9-10 sessions, have been just the tip of the iceberg. But that's often enough for a lot of people. What I tried to do here is apply the 80-20 principle, or the Pareto principle, if you know what that is. And that is to say that 20% of what we do usually yields about 80% of the effect. So what I tried to do is I took about 5% of this entire program, maybe even less than that, and try to give you the best meat and potatoes part of it to give you the stuff that will work for you. So I also mentioned before there's some other parts to the program and there's some other ideas that I'm going to give you, and here they are. As I mentioned, these sessions are about 5% of the program, and so I drew up a list of just stuff off the top of my head. I didn't even really look at what's inside the program, I just from memory, and this is some of the stuff we cover inside the program. There's a lot here, and if you want to look at it, go ahead and just pause the video, but we're going to move on. I want to leave you with this. Repetition is a master skill. Malcolm Gladwell wrote a book called Outliers and made famous what we now know as the 10,000 hour rule. And essentially what it says is that anyone who's been good at anything in the history of mankind had at least 10,000 hours of practice, which equates to about 3.5 years at 8 hours a day. Repetition is the only way that you're going to succeed. Repetition is the only way anyone ever succeeds at anything. It is the secret to life. It is the secret to success. Repetition is a master skill that you must master. And this is exactly why we give you so many options to work with inside the program. Not everyone needs everything. In fact, implying the 80-20 rule again, you may only need 5 or 6 of these changes, but you must do them every day, multiple times per day, again and again and again, and you get better and better at them, and these are the things that are going to change your life. You are ready to quit. Focus on whip. Use the 15 seconds. Build an entire repertoire of 15-second thoughts. Use the breathing techniques we talked about. Become a more conscious person. Understand what makes you tick, what makes your triggers, what are your false beliefs. All of these things come together, and pretty soon your affirmations, they'll help the false beliefs melt away. You'll be breathing, you'll be exercising, you'll be getting better, you'll be feeling healthier, and most importantly, you'll be enjoying this entire journey, and that's the whole point. Quitting doesn't have to be painful. Quitting is going to be an amazing process. So get excited and get started. Congratulations.